Suzu Honjo. From an ordinary girl to a symbol of elegance and quiet strength. If someone had met Suzu Honjo when she was still very young, they might have seen nothing more than an ordinary Japanese girl. Soft, shoulder-length hair glimmering like silk under sunlight, deep black eyes calm like an autumn lake, and a gentle smile that felt like the first warm ray of morning light touching a windowpane. Few could have imagined that one day, this quiet girl would inspire countless people. Not only with beauty, but with maturity, inner balance, and her ability to live life with grace and purpose. Suzu grew up in a modest but loving family. Her home was located in a small neighborhood lined with narrow streets and trees that turned bright red every autumn. Children laughed and chased each other outside, while every morning the sound of students' bicycles rolled through the street like a daily melody. Suzu was once among those children, light steps, swinging school bag, humming little songs she adored. From a young age, she showed a temperament different from many others. Suzu was not loud, energetic, or eager to stand out. She was the kind who observed more than she spoke, who listened instead of rushing to answer. In class, she always chose the seat near the window, where sunlight softened her hair into shades of amber, and where she could look out at the schoolyard where willow branches swayed gently in the wind. She felt peace in the quiet things, in slow moments, in spaces where she could breathe without pressure. It was as if she had chosen the rhythm of her life long before she even understood what that meant. People often wonder, what makes an ordinary girl become extraordinary? Is it beauty, luck, or natural talent? None of those are the true answer. What made Suzu special was the depth inside her. She kept a small handwritten diary where she recorded the smallest fragments of experience. A stray cat sleeping beneath a roof during rain, the sound of night rain tapping like fingertips on wood, or the feeling of standing beneath the first warm breeze of spring. Reading those notes felt like stepping into the mind of someone who loved the world softly. Someone who noticed things most people walked past without seeing. As she entered her teenage years, Suzu naturally became the kind of person others gravitated toward. She did not shine loudly, yet everyone felt warmth in her presence. Friends loved her not just for her appearance, but for her sincerity. When someone was sad, she listened. When someone was joyful, she smiled with them. She avoided conflict but never lacked courage. Beneath her gentle aura was a quiet resilience, a strength like underground water, powerful though unseen. Teachers described her as pure, but not childish, someone who understood life earlier than others. Yet Suzu also carried ambition. Not for fame but for growth. Standing at the threshold of adulthood, she faced a familiar question. Should she live a safe and peaceful life, predictable and quiet? Or step outside that comfort, chase new experiences, and discover what she could truly become? Suzu chose the second path. It was not an easy decision. Leaving her small hometown to start fresh in a big city meant loneliness, uncertainty, and change. Some nights she lay awake wondering, am I doing the right thing? Yet those very fears shaped her strength. Each unfamiliar street, each early morning train ride, each night she spent alone in a quiet room, all became threads woven into her growth. Her first apartment in the city was simple. One bed, a small desk, a kettle, a few books. At night, she would sip warm tea by the window, watching streams of people below rushing through neon streets, each carrying their own dreams, burdens, and destinations. She was just one among millions, yet inside her was a soft, persistent belief. One day, effort will be seen. She missed home deeply at times. She failed, got discouraged, felt lost, but she did not turn back. Like a small flower fighting to bloom in winter, Suzu continued to learn, to adapt, and to grow. She understood something many people forget. Everyone has difficulties, but not everyone is willing to keep walking. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, Suzu transformed. Her eyes deepened not only with innocence, but with direction. Her steps became steadier, her heart more certain. She was no longer just a girl looking at the world. She was a girl choosing how she would move through it. The turning point. How Suzu Honjo stepped into the world and built her own light. When Suzu Honjo left her hometown and arrived in the city, she did not instantly shine or stand out. In a place where millions of footsteps cross daily, she was simply one more face among the crowd. A small figure in a giant world of neon lights, concrete buildings, and endless movement. At first, Tokyo felt overwhelming to her. Trains rushed like rivers of metal. People walked quickly with eyes focused forward, as if racing against time itself. Cafes buzzed with conversation. Stores glowed with color. Street corners turned like pages of a storybook, one scene ending, the next beginning. Yet in that chaos, Suzu was calm. She observed instead of rushing. She studied instead of imitating. She absorbed everything like fresh paper taking ink. For the first time, she was no longer the girl sheltered by familiarity. She was someone building herself piece by piece in a world that demanded strength. Every day she woke early, brushed her hair smooth, tied her shoes carefully, and stepped outside with determination. I must not waste this chance. The beginning was not glamorous. She worked part-time jobs, some short-term, some exhausting, some quiet. She handed out flyers beneath summer heat. She wiped tables in small cafes. She folded clothes in a boutique store where soft jazz music played endlessly in the background. Customers came and went like rain on windows, and though her tasks were simple, she learned something precious. Politeness is a language. Professionalism is a discipline. Every small effort builds the future quietly. Sometimes after work, she walked through Shibuya or Shinjuku, places where giant screens flashed with advertisements, where fashion, entertainment, and youth culture pulsed like a heartbeat. She studied faces, outfits, behavior. She watched confident people speak, pose, and present themselves. Without realizing it, her inner spark grew. She began experimenting with style, learning makeup not to hide herself, but to highlight her natural softness. She practiced posture, expression, presence not for vanity, but for self-improvement. She was preparing for a door she could not yet see, but somehow knew would open. And then one day it did. The moment everything shifted. The turning point came unexpectedly, as life's most important opportunities often do. During a weekend, Suzu accompanied a friend to a small photo shoot event. She wasn't participating, she only planned to watch quietly. But the photographer, noticing her gentle beauty and the calm aura she carried, invited her to step in front of the camera, just for a few shots. Suzu hesitated. She had never posed seriously before. Her heart beat fast, a mixture of shyness and curiosity. Yet she stepped forward. In that small studio with simple lighting and a quiet backdrop, she looked into the camera. And something awakened. Her expression serene but deep. Her eyes soft yet confident. Her presence not loud but impossible to ignore. The photographer paused, surprised. Her natural elegance was not taught. Simply existed. That day's photos circulated among several creatives. The response was immediate. Who is this girl? She has something different, calm, pure, yet strong. Suzu didn't fully understand the shift at first, but the universe had acknowledged her effort. She had bloomed quietly and the world finally noticed. The beginning of her creative journey. After that debut shoot, Suzu began receiving invitations for small modeling sessions, first amateur, then semi-professional. Each shoot was a lesson. How to express emotion with eyes. How to speak without words. How stillness can be powerful. While many models projected boldness, Suzu expressed softness, and that softness became her signature. Her movements were gentle, like pages turning in slow wind. She never forced expression. She let it rise naturally, a smile that felt like morning, a gaze that felt like rain, a posture like a poem. More photographers came, then stylists, then creative studios. Her world expanded not suddenly, but steadily, like light spreading through a room at dawn. She wasn't loud. She wasn't aggressive. She simply existed beautifully and people gravitated toward her. The growth of her public image. As her work increased, Suzu began building her public identity more consciously. She opened social media accounts not for fame, but for connection. Her posts were simple. A teacup near a window, her reflection in a train, a book she was reading, early morning sunlight touching her desk. She never tried to impress, she just shared moments honestly. And the world responded. People found peace in her tone, warmth in her presence, inspiration in her quiet dedication. Her follower count grew hundreds, then thousands, then far beyond. Fans from Japan, Korea, China, Vietnam, Thailand, and later from the West discovered something refreshing in her. Not perfection, not extravagance, but authenticity. She became a symbol of calm beauty, like still water reflecting moonlight. And the more she grew, the more she worked. She practiced posing daily in front of a mirror, with books on her head for posture, with natural light to understand how shadows shaped emotion. She trained her mind as much as her body. She learned how to manage time, how to accept criticism, how to stay grounded in praise. Her rise was not luck. It was discipline dressed as grace. Challenges behind her soft presence. Success is beautiful when seen from outside, but inside it often carries weight no one else can feel. Suzu, despite her calm reputation, also faced anxiety, expectations, and the pressure to maintain an image. Some days she doubted herself. Some nights she lay awake wishing for peace. She once wrote in her private journal, "To grow is to walk through fog not knowing what lies ahead, but believing in each step." There were times when work slowed, when projects were delayed, when comments online felt heavy. She learned to be resilient not by hardening, but by bending gently like bamboo in the wind. Instead of reacting to negativity, she breathed. Instead of arguing, she improved. Instead of breaking, she bent then stood tall again. Her strength was not loud. Her strength was quiet, and quiet strength lasts longest. Building her own light. Suzu's rise was not a race. It was a garden. Every experience a seed. Every failure a root. Every effort a bloom. And gradually she was no longer the girl searching for direction. She became the direction. Not because she chased fame recklessly, but because she grew into herself. She learned the most important lesson of her journey. True beauty is not what others see. It is what you build within. The cultural impact and public perception of Suzu Honjo. Suzu Honjo's rise in the entertainment world is not only a story of personal achievement, but also a reflection of broader cultural trends in contemporary Japanese media. As her career expanded, she became a symbol of the modern Japanese performer who is versatile, adaptive, and able to appeal to diverse audiences. While many talents gain recognition for a single special trait, Suzu stands out because she embodies a balanced combination of charm, humility, emotional depth, and professional focus. This makes her not only admired but also respected across various demographics. In Japan, public perception of rising female talents is often shaped by how they navigate the mixture of tradition and modernity. The entertainment industry is heavily influenced by Japanese cultural expectations: gracefulness, politeness, discipline, and emotional control. Suzu Honjo naturally reflects these qualities. She carries herself with a calm, gentle aura while also expressing youthful confidence. Audiences frequently describe her as someone who brings a refreshing presence to the screen. Soft-spoken but memorable, subtle but impactful, expressive yet never overwhelming. This delicate balance is the heart of her appeal. What also strengthens her public perception is the way she manages her public image. Instead of projecting an unreachable star persona, she often conveys relatability and warmth. Fans mention that she appears like someone who listens more than she speaks, someone who observes deeply, and someone who performs with sincerity. In a world where entertainment often becomes noisy and overly dramatic, her quieter and more grounded energy becomes a distinct charm point. The cultural impact of Suzu Honjo can also be seen in how she inspires different communities. Among younger audiences, especially young women, she is frequently admired for her authenticity. Many appreciate that she doesn't rely solely on flashy aesthetics, but rather builds her identity through expression and emotion. She is often referenced in online discussions about natural beauty or soft charm, trends that have grown significantly in Japanese and Asian pop culture in recent years. Moreover, Suzu's performances often highlight emotional nuance. She has a unique ability to communicate feelings without exaggerated gestures. This ability resonates strongly with Japanese audiences, who generally value subtlety over spectacle. Emotional restraint, when used skillfully, becomes a powerful tool of storytelling. And this is where Suzu shines. Her expressions often carry layers: vulnerability, curiosity, affection, hesitation, tenderness, conveyed through small but intentional movements. As a result, viewers feel emotionally connected to her. Her popularity also reflects a shift in how modern viewers seek more than just entertainment. They seek personalities who offer comfort. Suzu has unintentionally become a form of therapeutic presence for many viewers. Online fan communities often describe her as healing, comforting, or soothing, words that reveal how audiences emotionally depend on her screen presence. In today's fast-paced society, where stress and pressure are common, viewers gravitate toward individuals who project calmness and stability. Outside Japan, Suzu Honjo has also attracted notable attention. International viewers frequently comment on her refined elegance and emotive sensitivity. Some even describe her as representing the essence of Japanese aesthetics, the kind that values quiet beauty, simplicity, and understated emotion. This subtle but meaningful global influence further expands her role as a cultural figure. Another significant element of her cultural footprint lies in how she inspires discussions about performance style. Critics often point out her ability to transition smoothly between different emotional states. This complexity is not simply about attractiveness, it's about craft and emotional intelligence. She demonstrates that performance is not just visual but also psychological. And because of that, she has gained respect even from seasoned industry observers. Suzu Honjo's impact extends into fashion and lifestyle trends. Her styling, whether soft pastel makeup, minimalistic hairstyles, or elegant casual clothing, often sparks fan imitation. She naturally aligns with the modern kawaii plus mature hybrid aesthetic, a style that blends youthful innocence with adult sophistication. As the Japanese entertainment industry increasingly values versatility, Suzu stands as an example of someone who embodies both. Overall, Suzu Honjo's cultural impact is defined by her authenticity, emotional depth, and ability to create comfort for her audience. She has become more than just a performer. She is a symbol of gentle strength in a world that often feels chaotic. As our exploration of Suzu Honjo comes to a close, we begin to understand why she remains such a captivating figure in the modern entertainment landscape. It is not only her beauty, her grace, or her expressive presence that draw audiences in. It is the feeling she leaves behind, the quiet emotional resonance that stays with viewers long after the screen fades to black. Suzu Honjo represents a type of artistry that cannot be replicated by technique alone. It emerges from sincerity, softness, humility, and emotional intuition. Her journey reminds us that true connection does not require grand gestures or loud intensity. Sometimes the most memorable expressions are the quiet ones. A glance filled with meaning. A smile that appears gently like a whisper. A moment of silence that speaks louder than words. Suzu Honjo has mastered this form of emotional expression, and through that, she has earned not only admiration but genuine affection. She stands as a symbol of subtle strength, a reminder that gentleness is not weakness, that quiet energy can be powerful, and that authenticity is a rare and precious quality. Many performers shine with brilliance that burns quickly, but Suzu glows steadily, warmly, with a light that feels enduring. Her charm is not a spark. It is a candle that warms a room. It is not a shout. It is a soft voice that one willingly leans in to hear. And perhaps that is why Suzu Honjo continues to grow, continues to attract new viewers, continues to inspire admiration across generations and cultures. Her presence invites comfort, reflection, and emotional softness, something the modern world often lacks, and therefore values deeply when found. Watching her is like stepping into a quiet garden after the noise of the city. A place to breathe, place to feel. So as we come to the end of this video, we are left with a gentle realization. Suzu Honjo is not just someone we watch. She is someone we experience. Her legacy is still unfolding, and her greatest moments may still lie ahead. But already, she has left an imprint on screens, on hearts, and within the culture that celebrates delicate beauty and emotional truth. Thank you for joining this journey. If Suzu Honjo has touched your thoughts or emotions, even for a moment, then this story has already served its purpose.